Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you watching this video. I am Manat Sharma from Oliveboard and I'm here with the ESI Score Booster series that we have started off. I have started it for finance also and ESI also, right? So this is your class 4. Take care, we do a few questions, very important questions which can really help you out in your examination. We cover those questions in this class. Good evening Satyarth, good evening Adi. Please let me know if my audio and video is clear so that we can have the class in a smooth and continuous manner. Before I begin, if you want to download this YouTube class PDF, you can do it from the Oliveboard app. Just go to the courses section. There's going to be a separate YouTube class PDFs folder. You can download the PDF from here, right? So what are we going to cover in today's session? The top MCQs from ESI, which is important for all regulatory exams, especially for RBI Grade A and B, and this is important for phase 2. So take this class as a challenge, right? And if you guys want to connect with me beyond these sessions, then I'm sharing my Telegram handle also over here for those who are new and not connected with me. Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. Okay, just type Mannat Educator, you will have access to my Telegram account. Good evening, Prakash. So let's begin with our session. First question for today. Identify the correct statements regarding the recently launched Adi Sanskriti platform by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Okay, so what are we talking about? Adi Sanskriti platform by Ministry of Tribal Affairs. The first statement, the Adi Sanskriti platform is envisioned as the world's first digital university dedicated to preserving and promoting tribal culture and traditional knowledge, and it also serves as an online marketplace for tribal artisans. Second is that Adi Vishwavidyalaya, a component of the platform, currently offers over 100 courses on tribal dance, painting, crafts, music, and folklore, making it the largest repository of tribal art education globally. Third statement, Adi Sampada, another component, is a socio-cultural repository, hosts more than 5,000 curated documents across 5 major themes including paintings, dance, clothing and textiles, artifacts and livelihood. Fourth statement, the platform's marketplace, Adihat, is linked with TriFed and aims to evolve into a dedicated online marketplace for tribal artisans, enabling sustainable livelihoods and direct consumer access. And fifth statement we have here that in its first phase, platform involves tribal research institutes from all states and UTs of India, ensuring nationwide participation in documentation and digital mapping of tribal art forms. So which of these statements are correct? 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 5, 1, 4 and 5, or all statements are correct? Just write down in the comment section and tell me. Satyarth has given me the answer as B. Anybody else who would like to answer? Write down in the comment section and tell me. Satyarth is saying 1B. The correct answer is B. Very good. No, Devasya, it's not all statements are correct, but it is 1, 3 and 4. The second statement is not correct. Why? Because Adi Vishwavidyalaya, it currently offers 45 immersive courses, not over 100. So right now, the number of courses are 45, not over 100. Okay, so this statement becomes wrong. Fine. Rest all statements are correct. Second question, fill in the blanks with the most appropriate options based on the recent announcement regarding infrastructure expansion at a central university. The Dash has sanctioned a major infrastructure development project for a central university through Higher Education Financing Agency. Which ministry are we talking about over here? Ministry of Education, Ministry of Skill Development, Ministry of HRD, Ministry of Higher Education, or Ministry of Education? What is the answer? The approved financial outlay amounts to dash and will primarily be serviced through grants from the same ministry. So what is the outlay? 385.27 crore, 358.72 crore, or 385.72 crore, or 385.27 crore, or 358.27 crore. Okay, this funding will enable the construction of new academic blocks, additional hostels for students and research scholars, faculty and staff residences, and a science instrumentation center equipped with advanced research instruments. The beneficiary institution is Dash, located in Thiruvarur. So is it Central University of Tamil Nadu, Central University of Kerala, Central University of Tamil Nadu, or Central University of Thiruvarur? And what is the correct answer? Satyarth has given me second answer as D. Anybody else who would like to answer? Second question, Satyarth has given me D option as the answer. What about others? Devasya, Prakash, Adi, what do you guys think? What is the answer? Devasya is saying A. The correct answer is A. Very good, Devasya. Okay, so it is Ministry of Education, not Ministry of Skill Development or Ministry of Higher Education. Blank to exact sanction amount is 385.27 crores. So it is not 358.72, not 385.72. Okay, 385.27 crore. University is officially named Central University of Tamil Nadu, located in Thiruvarur. Okay, this is the correct answer. Okay, Satyarth. So it is A, not D. Then fill in the blanks based on PM Modi's address on the 79th Independence Day. During his speech, Prime Minister paid an emotional tribute to India's farmers, calling them the backbone of Bharat's prosperity and food sovereignty. He emphasized that India's growing economy is directly benefiting farmers, livestock rearers, and fishermen. Highlighting India's global agricultural standing, he stated that country is ranked dash worldwide in milk, pulses, and jute production, and dash in rice, wheat, cotton, fruits, and vegetables. So it is rank 1, rank 2, or rank 2 and 1, rank 1 and 3, rank 1 and 2, or rank 2 and 2. Furthermore, agriculture exports have crossed 4 lakh crore to reduce regional disparities and uplift the most backward farming districts. PM Modi announced a new scheme named Dash, which aims to transform agricultural infrastructure and ensure inclusive growth across 100 targeted districts. Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Annadata Samriddhi Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Samriddhi Yojana. What is the correct answer out of these? Siddharth is saying third question A. Adi is saying rank 1. Acha. The correct answer is A. Absolutely correct. So we have rank 1. We rank first in worldwide in milk, pulses, and jute production. We rank second in rice, wheat, and cotton fruits, and we have Pradhan Mantri Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana, which is based on which is inspired by your aspirational district program. Okay? Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Next question. Identify the correct statements regarding New Development Bank. The New Development Bank, formerly known as BRICS Development Bank, was first conceptualized in 2012 during the BRICS Summit in New Delhi, and its founding agreement was signed in Fortaleza in 2014. NDB began operations in July 2015 with an initial authorized capital of $50 billion US, equally distributed among the 5 founding members: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The headquarters of NDB is located in Shanghai, China, and the bank also has regional offices in South Africa and Brazil. Fourth statement, mentorship in the NDB is restricted only to BRICS countries, and voting power is proportional to the capital contribution of each member. Then fifth option is that the governance structure of NDB includes a board of governors comprising the finance ministers of the BRICS countries, and both the presidency and vice presidency rotate among the founding members. So 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3 and 5, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 4 and 5 are all statements are correct. What is the correct answer for this particular question? Hanji. I think C, fourth B. Acha, wherever you give me an answer, guys, please mention number 4, number 3, so that I do not get confused in your answers. Okay? I think C, B, C, the correct answer is B. Okay, which is 1, 3 and 5. 1, 3 and 5 are correct. 1, 3 and 5 are correct. Okay? So if you see here, membership in NDB is restricted only to BRICS countries. No, we have other countries also. Okay, so membership is not restricted to only the BRICS countries. Then NDB began operations in July 2015 with an initial authorized capital of this, and it is divided among these founding members. This is incorrect because initial authorized capital is 100 billion US, not 50 billion. Okay? The rest all statements are correct. Fifth question. Identify the correct statements regarding the Institutes of Eminence scheme. This scheme was launched by University Grants Commission in 2017 as part of the Government of India's commitment announced in Union Budget 2016-17 to empower higher educational institutions by identifying 10 public and 10 private institutions to emerge as world-class teaching and research institutions. The primary aim of IOE scheme is to provide high quality teaching and research exclusively in science and technology domains, excluding interdisciplinary areas and social sciences, to ensure global competitiveness. To qualify for IOE status, institutions must rank among the top 15 national institution ranking framework in their category or among the top 500 in internationally recognized rankings such as Times Higher Education, World University Rankings. Fourth statement, only central universities and institutions of national importance like IITs and NITs are eligible to apply under the IOE scheme. State universities and government-owned deemed universities are not considered. As per the latest update, a total of 12 institutions, 8 public and 4 private, have been granted IOE status by the Government of India. So which of these statements are correct? 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3 and 5, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 4 and 5, or all statements are correct? What is the correct answer for question number 5? Devasya and Satyarth have given me B as the answer. The correct option is B, absolutely correct. 1, 3 and 5. Second is incorrect. It does not restrict itself to science and technology. It explicitly includes unique and emerging areas of knowledge, including interdisciplinary areas and social sciences. And fourth is also incorrect. Scheme allows central universities, state universities, government-owned deemed universities, institutions of national importance to apply. So state universities and deemed universities are included, not excluded. Okay? Sixth question. Identify the correct statements regarding India's country partnership framework with World Bank Group. The CPF is guided by Government of India priorities and the WBG's World Bank Group's systematic country diagnostic and frames both what the WBG does, resource efficient growth, competitiveness, human capital, and how it engages private sector, federal India, institutions, Lighthouse India. CPF is mainly a short-term stabilization tool for macroeconomic crisis, 2 to 3 year horizon, prioritizing crisis containment over long-term goals like human capital, climate resilience, and institutional strengthening at union and state levels. The CPF acknowledges progress and challenges. Extreme poverty fell from 46 to 21% by 2011 and continues to decline, yet over 170 million remain poor. It emphasizes resource efficient, lower carbon growth for global development impact. Fourth statement, cross-cutting themes, climate change, gender gaps, high-impact technologies. These are integrated across all operations, shaping sectoral programs and engagement approaches. India is already a high middle income with long-term growth expected below 5%. Hence, CPF focuses on consolidating that status by 2030 and does not center on enhancing competitiveness or enabling job creation. Which of these are correct? 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3 and 4, 2, 3 and 5, 1, 4 and 5, or all statements are correct. Sixth question, Satyat says B, Devasya is saying B, the correct answer is B. Okay, which is 1, 3 and 4 are correct. Second is incorrect. It is not a short-term crisis instrument. It is a strategic medium to long-term framework emphasizing human capital, climate, institutional strengthening, jobs and competitiveness rather than mere stabilization. Then fifth is also incorrect. India is described as lower middle income aspiring to become high middle income by 2030. Growth expected at more than 7%. CPF does center on competitiveness and job creation. Okay? Seventh question, identify the correct statements about Union Cabinet's 69,725 crore package to revitalize India's shipbuilding and maritime ecosystem. Okay, first let me write down the options here. A, 1, 2 and 3. A, 1, 2 and 3. B, option 1, 3, 5. C, option is 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 5. And E, all are correct. Okay? E, all correct. So let's read this question and you have to give me the correct answer. Okay? First statement, the cabinet approved package adopts a four-pillar approach that brings together domestic capacity strengthening, long-term finance, mega shipbuilding clusters and infrastructure expansion, establish the India Ship Technology Center under the Indian Maritime University, and provide risk coverage including insurance support for complex shipbuilding programs. Is it buffering for others also? Is it buffering for others also? Satyarth is saying it's buffering. What about others? Can you let me know if it is buffering? Then I will check it. Because it looks fine to me. It's buffering. Is it okay now or still buffering? It was, है ना? I think now it's fine. बीच में maybe for a second or so it might have buffered, है ना? Okay, okay, okay. Fine. So, next fifth statement, while the overall package seeks to unlock 4.5 million gross tonnage and catalyze nearly 30 lakh jobs with 4.5 lakh crore investments, initiative is primarily limited to shipyard modernization and does not address broader national priorities such as energy or food security, geopolitical resilience, or supply chain robustness, given the maritime sector's relatively modest share of India's external trade. These kind of questions, these are so long, so they might become a little monotonous, but you have to bear with me because such kind of questions are actually asked in the examination. Okay. So seventh option, Devasya is saying C is the answer. What about others? What about you, Satyarth? What about others? 7A, the correct answer is 7C, which is 2, 3 and 4 are correct. Okay, so first is incorrect. Package follows a 4-pillar approach. That is okay. It covers capacity, financing, shipyard development, technical skilling and reforms. But the statement bundles reforms as part of the pillars rather than additional enabling measures like spanning legal, taxation and policy, which this description distinguishes. To create a discriminating item, this conflation is considered a precision error. So this statement is incorrect. 2, 3, 4, these statements are correct. Okay. Fifth is also incorrect. Okay, the package explicitly targets outcomes beyond shipyard modernization. 4.5 million GT capacity, approximately 30 lakh jobs, 4.5 lakh rupees crore investments, strengthening national energy and food security, resilience of supply chains and maritime routes, and reinforcing geopolitical resilience. Okay, so it does not have a limited scope; it has a very wide scope. Okay, that is your answer is C. Okay, that is 2, 3 and 4 are correct. Eighth question, fill in the blanks. During the 37th session of UNESCO's International Coordinating Council, Dash held on 27th September 2025, India's Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve located in Dash was officially included in the World Network of Biosphere Reserves. So it is man and the biosphere, man and the troposphere, man and the biosphere, man and nature. Okay, and blank 2, is it Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand? These are the two options that we have. This inclusion, along with India's broader efforts such as adding new Ramsar sites and strengthening wetland conservation, comes under the purview of DASH, which plays a central role in advancing India's commitment to biodiversity protection, climate resilience, and community-led sustainable development. So is it Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Ministry of Jal Shakti, Ministry of Home Affairs, or Ministry of Earth Sciences? I've got A as the answer. Satyarth says A. Anybody else who would want to answer? The answer is A, absolutely correct. Man and the Biosphere, and it is Himachal Pradesh, not Uttarakhand, and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Okay. Ninth question. Identify correct statements concerning Global Biofuels Alliance and its objectives, governance and outreach, and India's role within it. So, such kind of questions are asked in your phase 2. Okay. First statement, the Global Biofuels Alliance was launched on 9th September 2023 in New Delhi on the sidelines of G20 summit as a chair's initiative by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi together with leaders from USA, Brazil, Italy, Argentina, Singapore, Bangladesh, Mauritius, UAE, explicitly framing Global Biofuel Alliance as a high-level cooperative mechanism to accelerate biofuel adoption globally. Second, since its launch, GBA's footprint has expanded beyond the initial cohort to include a membership of 30 member countries and 15 international organizations, and its temporary executive committee has met 5 times, culminating in the formal ratification of its charter and a binding timeline for universal standards harmonization across all members. Third statement, GBA is designed as a multi-stakeholder alliance comprising governments, international organizations, and industry with a programmatic agenda that includes capacity building, technical support to national programs, policy lessons sharing, technology advancements, and the implementation of internationally recognized standards and codes through broad stakeholder participation. Fourth statement, GBA has materially enhanced its international presence through representation at major platforms such as COP28 in Dubai, World Economic Forum in Switzerland, India Energy Week 2024, and the World Biogas Summit 2024 in UK. It has also been invited as an international organization to the Energy Transitions Working Group under Brazil's G20 presidency and to the International Forum on Sustainable Biofuels under the Italian G7 presidency, signaling mainstreaming in global energy dialogues. Fifth statement, in terms of India's positioning, the GBA's near-term agenda excludes ethanol, sustainable aviation fuel, and compressed biogas focusing narrowly on biodiesel pathways and casting India primarily as a large end market rather than a knowledge base or production hub, thereby limiting domestic industry participation and technology leadership opportunities. You have to identify the correct statements. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3, 4. Let me write down the options. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 3, 4. Okay, then we have 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5. Okay, and E option, all are correct. What is the answer? Good evening, Chipkali. Good evening, Chipkali. हाँ जी 9E 9B the correct answer is B. ठीक है, so Satyarth is absolutely correct. B 1 3 and 4 are correct. ठीक है, first statement is incorrect, second statement is incorrect. Statement inflates membership and misstates governance milestones. The provided information notes 24 member countries and 12 international organizations, not 30 and 15, and it specifies 3 TEC meetings held so far, not 5, with immediate initiatives defined. Okay, rest all are correct. Fifth statement is incorrect. The information states GBA aims to position India as a knowledge base and production hub for ethanol, SAF, CBG among others. This statement claims claim of exclusion and narrow biodiesel focus contradicts alliance inclusive technology and scope and India's intended leadership role as well. So your answer is B. 10th question. Identify correct statements regarding MSME team initiative, which is a sub-scheme under the central sector scheme raising and accelerating MSME performance. ठीक है, which is your RAMP program. उसका एक sub-scheme है MSME team initiative. So the question is based on that. So first statement launched by Ministry of MSME as a sub-scheme under RAMP. MSME team initiative specifically targets onboarding 5 lakh MSMEs onto the ONDC with the stated intent of bolstering digital and e-commerce capabilities of micro and small enterprises and aligning them with modern digital marketplaces through structured, time-bound support. Second statement, the initiative's core objectives and design include ensuring that at least 50% of the 5 lakh beneficiary MSEs are women-owned, running for a duration of 3 years and operating with a total allocation of 277.35 crore, thereby integrating market access with inclusion, digital adoption, and measurable timeline-bound outcomes. Third statement, implementation responsibilities are expressly vested in the National Small Industries Corporation, with the program framed as part of World Bank supported RAM program, reflecting a coordinated approach where NSIC anchors execution while RAM provides a broader reform and performance framework for MSMEs across formalization, productivity, and competitiveness. Fourth statement, although MSME team lists 6 strategic pillars spanning formalization and access to credit, market access and e-governance, adoption, productivity through technology, skill development through service sector digitalization, globalizing traditional industries, khadi, village coir, and empowerment via enterprise creation, the scheme does not in practice emphasize ONDC onboarding and does not contain any quantitative target related to the number of enterprises to be digitally enabled. Fifth statement, as introduced by MSME Minister, MSME team initiative excludes micro and small enterprises from eligibility in order to focus primarily on medium enterprises, and it does not envisage any linkage with capacity building, example workshops or land holding or hand holding, because such initiatives are outside the RAM framework and reserved for unrelated sectors. We have options here 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4. 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5. 2, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5. All correct. Okay. So we have A, B, C, D and E options. What is the correct answer? Satyarth is saying A. 10th question A. Anybody else? A is absolutely correct. 1, 2 and 3 are correct. Okay. Fourth is incorrect. The 6 strategic pillars are correctly listed, but the claim that the scheme does not emphasize ONDC onboarding and lacks competitive targets, this is false. Fifth is incorrect. Here it is written explicitly oriented towards, it was written that it is explicitly for medium and micro and small ko we have excluded, but that is wrong. Okay? Question 11 to 15 are based on this small paragraph. We are talking about the PGI 2.0, which is your performance grading index, which is a revamped framework introduced by Ministry of Education to assess school education systems across states and UTs. It aligns with NEP 2020 and SDG 4, uses multiple indicators across domains and classifies states and UTs into grades based on aggregate scores. PGI 2.0 emphasizes evidence-based monitoring, technology integration, and qualitative improvement in learning outcomes. 11th question. Let's read the question. You have to answer. Which of the following statements about the structure and methodology of PGI 2.0 is correct? A. PGI 2.0 is designed on the principle that an efficient education system requires continuous monitoring of interconnected matrices of inputs, outputs, and outcomes, supported by a quick response mechanism for timely course correction. B option. The framework consists 73 indicators grouped under two categories: outcomes and governance and management, further divided into 6 domains with a total weightage of 1000 points distributed proportionately. C. Learning outcomes, equity, and teacher education and training together account for 600 points, reflecting a deliberate emphasis on qualitative indicators over mere physical infrastructure. D. The grading system uses relative positioning where the least score obtained by any state or UT determines the starting point for grade intervals, which are then divided into 10 equal class ranges. E statement. The highest grade termed Daksh is awarded to states or UTs scoring more than 90% of the grade range, while the lowest grade Akanshi 3 applies to scores up to 10% of the grade range. What is the answer? Correct statements. A, B, D, E only, A, C, D only, B, C, E only, A, B, C only, या फिर A, B, C, D, E. Which of these are correct? Satyarth says 11D. Anybody else? Anybody else who would like to answer? 11th D, D, C. The correct answer for this question is E. Okay, not D, not C, but all of these statements are correct. Okay, all are correct. Okay. 12th question. Which of the following statements regarding data sources and indicator alignment in PGI 2.0 correct? PGI 2.0 draws data from multiple platforms including UDISE+, NAS, PM Poshan, Prabandh, Vidyanjali, ensuring comprehensive coverage of both quantitative and qualitative indicators. B option. For learning outcomes and equity domains, data is exclusively sourced from NAS 2021, while access infrastructure and governance indicators rely on UDISE Plus and other portals for real-time updates. Okay. Then the PGI portal allows states and UTs to verify pre-filled data using unique credentials, followed by mandatory certification at the level of state project directors before final score computation. D option. All 73 indicators are manually entered by states and UTs each year to maintain autonomy and prevent central pre-filling of values. E option. Integration with UDISE Plus enables automatic population of values for 65 indicators, reducing duplication of effort and easing administrative burden on states and UTs. A, B, C, D, E only, A, C, D only, B, C, D only, A, B, D only, A, B, C, D, E. Which of these are correct? 12th question. 12th A, the correct answer is A. ठीक है, A, B, C, E are correct. Only D one option is incorrect. ठीक है, so it is automatically filled. Most indicators are auto filled, not fully manual. ठीक है, उसमें लिखा है that full, manually you have to add in, but not manually, it is auto filled. ठीक है. 13th question. Which of the following statements about grading and performance trends under PGI 2.0 are incorrect? So you have to identify the incorrect statements. A option. In 23-24, the top performing grade attained by any state or UT was Utkarsh, corresponding to a score range of 881 to 940 points, indicating significant progress towards the ultimate goal. B. Chandigarh was the only state or UT to achieve Prachesht 1 grade, while no state UT reached Daksh, Utkarsh, Ati Uttam or Uttam grades during the assessment period. The maximum and minimum scores recorded in 23-24 were 719 and 417 respectively, reflecting an interstate performance gap of 302 points or approximately 42%. D. The interstate differential has widened compared to 2017-18, where the maximum deviation was 51%, suggesting persistent disparities despite policy interventions. A, AB only, AD only, BC only, ACD only, or ABD only. 13th question. 13th, D. Devas is saying D. Satyarth is saying B. The correct answer is E, not D, not E. Sorry, not B. The correct answer is E, which is A, B, D only. Okay. एक second, they are asking about the incorrect statements, है ना? So incorrect statements are A and D only, है ना? Incorrect statements are A and D only. That means B should be the answer. ठीक है, B should be the answer. ठीक है, यहाँ पे it is written wrong. B should be the answer. ठीक है, fine. So yes, B is absolutely correct, Satyarth. ठीक है, so A is incorrect. No state achieved Utkarsh. Top grade was Prachesht 1. ठीक है, this is correct. Chandigarh alone reached Prachesht 1. Absolutely correct. 719 versus 419 shows approximately 42% gap. And D is wrong. Gap reduced from 51 to 41%. It did not widen, but it reduced. Gap reduced. ठीक है. 14th question. The PGI 2.0 grading intervals are constructed by first identifying the least score obtained by any state or UT, example around the low 400s, subtracting this value from the total possible points out of 100, and then dividing the resultant grade range into 10 equal class intervals to define grade boundaries. Okay, reason, this method ensures relative grading that is sensitive to annual performance distributions, and it allows all states and UTs to potentially occupy the highest grade Daksh simultaneously if they exceed 90% of the grade range, thereby promoting collective improvement rather than zero-sum ranking. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true, and R is not the correct explanation. A true, R false, A false, R true. Both A and R are false. What is the correct answer out of these questions? Out of these statements, what is the correct answer? 14, Devas is saying A. Anybody else? Satyarth, what do you say? Fourteenth, A, which is absolutely correct. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Now match PGI 2.0 grade names with their corresponding score ranges. Okay, so here on left hand side we have grade range Daksh, Utkarsh, Atiuttam, Prachesht 1, Akanshi 3. You have to match it with the score range 941 to 1000, 881 to 940, 821 to 880, 701 to 760, 401 to 460. What is the correct answer? What is the correct answer out of these? Try to match A, B, C, D with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Match it. (15A), 15B. The correct answer is 15A. Okay? Fine. So it is A1. Daksh 941 to 1000. Utkarsh 881 to 940. Ati Uttam 821 to 880. Prachesht 1 701 to 760. And Akanchi 3 401 to 460. So A is the correct answer. Okay? 16 to 20 are based, question number 16 to 20 based on this paragraph, which is related to Unified District Information System for Education Plus 2024-25 report. Okay? These questions are based on this UDISE Plus report. Let's read the question. 16th question. Which of the following statements about teacher availability and pupil teacher ratios, teacher availability and pupil teacher ratios in 24-25 correct? For the first time since UDISE Plus inception, the total number of teachers crossed the 1 crore mark, signaling a major milestone in addressing teacher shortages and improving classroom engagement. B. The academic year recorded a 6.7% rise in teacher numbers compared to 22-23, reinforcing the government's commitment to strengthening human resources in education. C option. Pupil-teacher ratios improved significantly across all levels, with foundational, preparatory, middle and secondary stages reporting ratios of 10, 13, 17 and 21 respectively, surpassing NEP's recommended benchmark of 1:30. Enhanced PTR ensures more individualized attention, better learning outcomes and improved teacher-student interaction, which are critical for foundational literacy and numeracy goals under NEP 2020. Despite improvements, PTR at the secondary level remains above 30, indicating persistent gaps in teacher deployment for higher grades. Which of these are correct? You have to identify the correct statements: A, B, C, D, A, C, D, B, C, E, A, B, C, or A, B, C, D, E. 16th question, A and E, I have received the answer. The correct answer is A. Satyarth is absolutely correct. All are correct except for E. Okay, PTR secondary is 21, not above 30. Okay, fine, rest all are correct. 17th question, which of the following statements about student retention, dropout, and enrollment trends are correct? Dropout rates declined sharply across all levels, with secondary stage witnessing a reduction from 10.9% in 23-24 to 8.2% in 24-25, indicating success of retention-focused interventions. Okay. B, retention rates improved significantly, reaching 98.9% at foundational level and 47.2% at secondary level, supported by expansion of schools offering higher grades. C option, gross enrollment ratio at secondary level rose to 70%, marking a record high and surpassing NEP's target for universal secondary education. D option, transition rates between stages improved, with foundational to preparatory at 98.6%, preparatory to middle at 92.2%, and middle to secondary at 86.6%, reflecting smoother progression through the system. E option, the consistent upward trend in GER and transition rates underscores systemic efforts to reduce dropouts and enhance access to education at critical stages. ABDE only, ACD only, BCE only, ABC only, or ABCDE? 17th, you've given me A as the answer, which is absolutely correct. A, B, D, E are correct. Only C is incorrect. Gross enrollment ratio at secondary 68.5%, not 70%. But rest all are correct, right? 18th question, which of the following statements about school infrastructure and inclusivity indicators are incorrect? So again, incorrect statements. A option, in 24-25, 93.6% of schools reported electricity access, 99.3% had safe drinking water, and 95.9% offered hand washing facilities, marking significant strides in basic infrastructure. B option, internet connectivity in schools declined from 63.5% in 23-24 to 53.9% in 24-25, indicating challenges in sustaining digital infrastructure. C option, schools equipped with ramps and handrails for accessibility reached 54.9%, reinforcing inclusive education for children with disabilities. D option, the proportion of schools with computer access stagnated at 47.7%, showing negligible progress in digital readiness compared to previous year. So AB only, AD only, BC only, BD only, ABD only. Which of these are incorrect? 18th question, D, C. I have received D as the answer, C as the answer. The correct answer is D, which is B and D only. So A and C are correct. B is incorrect. Internet access increased to 63.5%. It did not decline. And D is also incorrect. Computer access rose to 64.7%. It did not stagnate. Okay, then 19th question, UDISE plus 24-25 report highlights gender equity and workforce trends in education. Female teachers now constitute dash of the total teaching workforce, reflecting progress toward gender balance. Girls' enrollment has inched up to dash, signaling incremental improvement in access and participation. These trends, coupled with infrastructure enhancement and digital integration, underscore efforts to create dash learning environments that are inclusive, equitable, and responsive to NEP 2020 objectives. So 54.2%, okay? Female teachers now constitute 54.2%, 53.3%, 52.3%, or 54%. The girls' enrollment has inched up to dash 48.3%, 48.1%, 47.8%, 48.3%, or 48%. And these trends, coupled with infrastructure enhancements, digital integration, underscore efforts to create dash learning environments. Gender sensitive, technology driven, gender neutral, inclusive only, or equity focused. 19th E, you guys have given me the answer, which is absolutely wrong. A is the correct answer. Okay? It is 54.2%, 48.3%, and gender sensitive. Okay? Not E. Okay? Gender sensitive. Okay? Question number 20. Match the indicator in list 1 with its reported value on change in list 2. So, zero enrollment schools versus previous year. Single teacher schools versus previous year. Schools with playground, schools with library, schools with rainwater harvesting. And list 2, talk about the changes of the values. 89.5%, 83%, around 38% decline, Around 6% decline or 29.4%? What is the correct answer? Try to match A, B, C, D with these numbers. A, B, C, D, E with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Match and give me the answer. Question number 20. I have received B as the answer. Devasya says A. The correct answer is A. Okay, not B. So it is A3, B4. A is the correct answer. Zero enrollment schools versus previous year. The answer is around 38% decline. B is 4. Single teacher schools versus previous year, around 6% decline. Schools with playground, C2, which is 83%. Okay. Schools with library, 1, which is 89.5%. And schools with rainwater harvesting, 29.4%. Okay, so A is the correct answer. Question 21 to 25, based on this paragraph, maternal mortality remains a critical global health challenge despite notable progress over the past 2 decades. International efforts under Sustainable Development Goals aims to reduce maternal deaths and improve equity in access to care. The latest UN report reviews trends across regions and countries, highlighting disparities between high burden and low burden settings. It also examines the impact of systemic factors such as health infrastructure, socio-economic conditions, and crisis situations on maternal survival. While some countries have achieved remarkable reductions, others continue to face persistent gaps, requiring accelerated interventions and policy reforms. The report underscores the urgency of meeting global targets within the remaining SDG timeline. 21st question. Which of the following statements about progress patterns and systemic challenges are incorrect? Incorrect statement. A. The report indicates that maternal mortality reductions have been uniform across all regions with no evidence of stagnation or reversal during the SDG era. Countries classified as fragile or conflict affected collectively account for a disproportionately high share of global maternal deaths, reflecting vulnerabilities beyond clinical factors. Despite overall global decline since 2000, the pace of reduction slowed significantly after 2016, making the SDG targets increasingly difficult to achieve without major acceleration. D option. The analysis suggests that the COVID-19 pandemic had negligible influence on maternal mortality trends with no measurable increase in deaths during peak years. A and D only, A, B, D only, A and C only, B and D only, A, C and D only, which is the incorrect statements. 21E you guys are saying, which is not correct. Okay, 21 answer is A, which is A and D only. You have to find the incorrect statement. So A and D only is incorrect. Okay, A is incorrect. Reductions were not uniform. Some regions stagnated or worsened during SDG years. Okay, and D is also incorrect. COVID-19 caused a measurable spike in maternal deaths globally during the peak years. Okay, rest all are correct. 22nd question. Devasya, just a few more questions left. Okay. Satyarth is saying that it is buffering again. Acha. It looks fine to me. I don't know. Maybe it was buffering in between for like 2-3 seconds. Is it okay now? Acha, it must be buffering in between for 2-3 seconds, है ना? Don't worry, it will get fine. बीच में हो जाता है, you know, sometimes. ठीक है? हाँ जी. So 22, you are saying B, which is not correct. The answer is A. 1, 2, 3, 4. So India's share of global maternal death 7.2%, decline in MMR 78%, ARR 6.36%, required ARR to meet SDG target 14.8%. Yeah, you can ask Devasya, of course. I'll maybe answer it at the end of the class. Okay, you can ask your question. Which statements best capture the report's country-level positioning for maternal mortality in 2023, balancing absolute burdens with rates and distribution? First, A, the report estimates approximately 260,000 global maternal deaths in 2023, about 712 per day, with Nigeria approximately 75,000, 28.7%, accounting for over 1/4 of the total, and no country classified as extremely high MMR for the first time in the series. B option, India's 2023 profile combines a large absolute toll and steep long-term reduction, which is approximately 19,000 deaths, and a fall in MMR from the early 2000s to 80, placing India among countries with low MMR, yet still contributing substantial global share due to population size. C. China's absolute burden in 2023 is estimated at approximately 1,400 maternal deaths, underscoring stark divergence in absolute counts vis-a-vis India, even though both nations have large populations and diverse subnational systems. D. Pakistan approximately 11,000, 4.1%, and DR, Democratic Republic of Congo, together constituted a significant portion of global maternal deaths. The four largest contributors, Nigeria, India, Democratic Republic of Congo, Pakistan, collectively reached approximately 47% of the world total. Among countries with very high MMR, Western African cases dominated. Examples include Nigeria, Chad, South Sudan, reflecting persistent inequities in access to quality emergency obstetric care. ABCD, ABCE, BCDE, ACDE, or ABCDE. Identify the correct statements. 23rd C, which is not correct. The answer is E. Okay, which is all of them are correct. Okay, Satyarth, all of them are correct. 24th question, which statements accurately synthesize regional categorization and lifetime risk patterns, highlighting heterogeneity across SDG regions in 2023? A option, Sub-Saharan Africa remains the region with high MMR and bears approximately 70% of global maternal deaths, with lifetime risk approximately 1% in 55, orders of magnitude above very low MMR regions. B. Australia and New Zealand posted the lowest regional MMR, which is approximately 3, alongside a lifetime risk of approximately 1 in 21,248, illustrating the gradient from high income settings to the global peak burden region. C option, Western Africa is uniquely categorized as very high MMR among SDG sub-regions in 2023, whereas Middle Africa is the only sub-region classified as high. D. Central and Southern Asia recorded a moderate MMR and achieved the greatest percentage reduction since 2000, signaling durable improvements despite mid-SDG period slowing. E option, across regions, the PM proportional maternal fell unevenly. For example, in Sub-Saharan Africa, PM declined from approximately 19.8% to 16.9% in 2023, while PM in Europe and Northern America sits near approximately 0.5%, reflecting both lower MMR and different age cost structures. ABC only, ABD only, ACD only, BDE only, or ABCDE? Which of these are correct? Hanji, what is the answer? 24. Satyarth is saying B. The correct answer is E and not B. Okay, A, B, D only. Fine. The answer is E. A, B, C, D, E, all are correct. Okay, all are correct, not B. Okay, Satyarth. 25th question, the report's mid-SDG assessment underscores that global momentum has slowed, making the 2030 target substantially harder to attain. From a global MMR of dash in 2000, 328, 308, 352 or 328. The world reached dash by 2023, 1.6%, 2.2%, 2.8% or 2.2% by 2023. However, ARR during 2016 to 23 dipped to dash, demanding a steep acceleration to align with SDG 3.1, 1.6%, 2.2%, 1.6%, 2.8%, 2.2%. Reverse for such kind of questions, guesswork is very difficult. Guesswork is very, very risky, extremely risky in fact. If you have, one option based questions, then it is easy to guess. You can maybe use elimination options and all, for example, in sometimes, like I tell you, I explain you that, in questions, in some statements where there are extreme words used like only, exclusively, they are mostly wrong. So in that case, your guesswork should be very, very minimum. Your guesswork should be extremely minimum. And how can you do the best, in this is that whatever you have done, I'm sure some basic, stuff you've already covered, the schemes and all based on the, basic trends and all, you've covered it. The best part is to revise whatever you have done plus practice more and more through mocks. It's like these classes, whatever in your classes you're doing, whatever schemes and all are being covered in such kind of sessions, you should do that in detail. So try to focus on quality rather than covering quantity of questions like this, because if you see the questions that are asked in between the scheme, statement based questions, such long questions wherein guesswork becomes very difficult. So for example, if they are asking for maternal mortality rate, until and unless you know, you're going to be fine. It is very difficult for you to do a guesswork. In one or two questions you can give a guesswork, but if you give more than 4 to 5 questions, if you are guessing, then you will lose a lot of your marks. Okay, so the only way to cover this is that whatever questions are being followed, whatever mock tests you are giving, at least practice that, revise them time and again. So keep your material less concentrated, but revise it more and more, so that your accuracy is good enough. Okay, Devasya. 24th question, 25th question, D, which is not correct. The answer is A. Okay, it is 328, 197, 1.6%. Okay, fine. So from a global MMR of dash in 2000, 328, the world reached 197 by 2023. However, ARR during 2016 to 23 dipped to 1.6%. Okay. Then last set of questions from 26 to 29 is based on this paragraph. Let's take a look at it. The persistence of certain socio-economic challenges has led to a situation where millions of children globally remain engaged in activities that compromise their health, education, and future prospects. Despite international commitments to eradicate such practices by a specific target year, progress has been uneven across regions. While some areas have shown remarkable improvement, others continue to grapple with high prevalence rates, particularly in rural economies and fragile states. The issue intersects with factors like poverty, demographic trends, and sectoral employment patterns, making it a complex global concern. Question number 26. Which of the following statements accurately reflect global patterns related to child labor as mentioned above? A option. Recent global estimates indicate that over 1/3 of children involved in child labor are engaged in tasks classified as hazardous, posing severe health and safety risks. B option. The prevalence of child labor among children aged 5 to 11 years has declined steadily since 2012, with no reversal during the 2016 to 20 period. C. Achieving the international target to eliminate child labor by 2030 would require accelerating progress at least 7 times the pace observed between 2020 and 2024. D option. Despite economic growth in several regions, the absolute number of children in child labor remains highest in areas experiencing rapid population expansion. E. The inclusion of unpaid household chores in measurement framework significantly alters gender-based prevalence patterns, often increasing the share attributed to girls. Which of these are correct? ABC, ACD, ACE, BDE, or ADE? What is the correct answer out of these? Hanji. 26B, B, the correct answer is C, not B. Okay, the correct answer is C, which is ACE are correct. Okay, ACDE are correct. D is also correct, है ना? 26, you guys are saying B, ACD are correct. Okay, and here ACE they are writing. ठीक है, so एक second. A and C तो are correct है ना? A is correct. Hazardous work accounts for about 2/5 of all cases. ठीक है, C is correct. Meeting SDG 8.7 by 2030 needs 11 times acceleration by 2045. D, Sub-Saharan Africa shows this pattern due to demographic pressure. So D is also correct, यार. D is also correct है ना? A is correct. C is correct. B is not correct. Prevalence of child labor among children has declined steadily. ठीक है, there was a rise. ठीक है, so it has not declined. So B is incorrect. E, adding household chores increases girls' prevalence slightly above boys. So E is also correct. So your options are only incorrect. It should have been A, C, D, E. है ना? A, C, D, E should also have been there. ठीक है, only B is incorrect. ठीक है, चलो. 27th question. Which of the following statements are true regarding regional and sectoral dynamics of child labor? In sub-Saharan Africa, more than 2/3 of children in child labor are under the age of 12, contrasting sharply with patterns in Central and Southern Asia. Services account for largest share of child labor globally, followed by agriculture and industry. In fragile or conflict affected areas, the prevalence of child labor exceeds 20%, which is over 4 times the global average. Economic diversification and rural development are cited as key strategies to reduce reliance on child labor in agriculture. In Asia and Pacific, recent progress against child labor coincided with a near tripling of regional GDP per capita since 2000. ABC, ACD, ADE, BCE or CDE? Which of these are true? You have to find out the correct statements. 27, Satyarth is saying B. What about you, Devasya? B, which is again not correct. Let me check the answer. A, C, D. You guys are saying. है ना? Here also they have given some wrong options. है ना? Here also your options are wrong. ठीक है, पता नहीं, you know, why are these questions wrong? A is correct. Sub-Saharan Africa is a very young age profile. ठीक है. Then B is incorrect. Agriculture dominates globally, 61%, not services. C is correct. Conflict zones show prevalence of more than 21%. D is correct. There are 4 statements which are correct. Yes, Devas, you're absolutely correct. Only B is incorrect. Diversification and rural development are emphasized solutions. E is also correct. Asia Pacific GDP per capita rose from $6,200 to $17,000 approximately. है ना? So only B option is incorrect. Okay, they should have given proper options. है ना? These options are only 3 mentioned over here. है ना? But there should have been more options. So there are 4 statements correct. Only B is incorrect. 28th question, fill in the blanks. Globally, nearly dash million children remain engaged in child labor, accounting for about dash % of children aged 5 to 17 years. So nearly dash million children remain engaged in child labor, 120, 138, 150, 137 or 140. Accounting for about dash percentage of all children aged 5 to 17 years, 6.5, 7.8, 8.2, 7.38. And of these, approximately dash million perform hazardous work likely to harm their health, safety or morals. 40, 54, 72, 50 or 60. 28th question, Satyarth is saying B. Anybody else? Devasya, what do you think? (28th A, 28th B. The correct answer is B. 138, 7.8 and 54. ठीक है? Last question for the day. Match each India specific indicator with its correct value. On left hand side, we have share of children in agriculture, share of children in services, share of children in industry, hazardous work share among child labor. Right hand side, 61%, 27%, 12%, 32%. Match A, B, C, D with 1, 2, 3, 4 and give me the answer. Read the question carefully and give me the answer. (29th A, B, the correct answer is A. ठीक है? So Satyarth, yes, A is the correct answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Share of children in agriculture 61%, in services 27%, in industry 12%, hazardous work 32%. ठीक है? So that is all from my side. Okay, this is what I wanted to discuss with you. All those who want to connect with me beyond these sessions, Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. You can connect with me over here. Apart from that, if you guys are preparing for phase 2, then you can, join this crash course where you will get live classes, live descriptive practice sessions, books and notes, magazines and full-length tests. If you want, you can enroll now. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope this session was beneficial. Keep studying and all the best to you. I will keep coming up with such sessions and I hope you guys are going to study properly. All the best to all of you and see you all in my next one. At 9 p.m. I have descriptive writing answer session. Okay, viewpoint 360 session, which is your descriptive answer writing. I gave you a question last week. So we're going to discuss that question at 9 p.m. today. Okay, so if you want, you guys can attend that as well. Okay, so I'm ending the session here. Thank you and have a good night, all of you. Bye-bye.